G'day everyone, and hasn't it been an interesting couple of weeks here in Cambodia? If you've been living under a rock, there has been a skirmish at the border between Cambodia and Thailand, and they fought for about 5 days, and now there's a ceasefire. And in this video I want to talk about some things that I've noticed that's happened on the ground here outside of the conflict, which I found interesting. Now, this is the first time that I've lived anywhere that's been bombed, so there's some things that are going on here which I haven't experienced back in my home country of Australia, which I think you might find interesting as well. First thing I want to say is that this is not a video to talk about who was right, who was wrong, who started it, or any of that sort of stuff. I'm not some flying barang that's going to pick a side and try and generate online clout. There's plenty of that going on already. If you're going to have an argument in the comments, I'm just going to turn them off. Keep those arguments for your own Facebook. Leave them out in my comment section. If you want to say g'day in the comments, please do, I'll respond. But any arguing, you can fuck right off. Look at this. I can't believe it's happened again. I've gone for a wander here. Look at my thongs. They're just as bad and as dirty as they were in that video we shot at the floating village. Oh fuck, now it's starting to piss down rain. And I can't run because my thongs weigh a ton. That's where we were before. Geez, I wouldn't want to walk down there now. You'd get bloody sucked in by the quicksand. The first thing that happened here that I thought was interesting was that almost overnight, Cambodia made a decision not to buy any more telecommunication bandwidth from Thailand. This was in response to threats that Thailand could disrupt the supply for power, telecom, bandwidth, all that sort of stuff. Literally overnight, they yanked the cord from Thailand, which left 3/4 of the country without mobile phone or internet for the day. Kinal and I found out we were having a couple of drinks at the Tuk Tuk bar at about 11:30 on a Thursday night, I think it was, and no one could pay through their ABA, and you saw a lot of people sort of looking for a reception like this with their mobile phone. It was only until we got home and searched Facebook and whatnot that evening and the next morning we figured out what was going on. The government put out a couple of press releases early that morning saying that at midnight that night we're terminating all bandwidth purchases from Thailand, which is going to cost them a couple $100 million a year in revenue, and we're going to source it from somewhere else. And to their credit, they had it all up and running again by the next evening. What I found interesting was the mood on social media from the locals was, yeah, good move, fantastic, well done. That move that the Cambodian government made just made me wonder about our own government in Australia. They would never, ever have the cojones, I think, to make such a bold move so quickly. And if they did do it, there's no way the Australians would be praising such a move. I can give you the big tip. Item number 2 was the Prime Minister Humanet came out and said all males 18 to 30 are going to be put through military service from this year, I think. Cambodia has a conscription law, which I think was written in about 2006, but was never really implemented. But because of this conflict that's gone up, and I think in a move to bolster their military stocks, all young men now are going to go and spend 2 years in the military. And that includes Cambodian citizens, and it makes me wonder, where does it leave like my son in that, because he does have a Cambodian passport. Is he a citizen? Does that mean when he comes back here on a holiday after he's 18, is he going to be dragged into the army? So I really am curious to see what happens now over the next 10 or so years, if that rule's still in place, if my son is still considered a citizen because he's got a passport, and what it means for, I suppose, some of you watching that you might have mixed kids that have got an Aussie, American or a UK passport as well as a Cambodian passport. What's going to happen? Along with the conscription rule, there was also a plan announced to upgrade the military stocks. Something like $800 million over a certain amount of years. Whenever there's a conflict, it's always a good excuse to make some upgrades on the home front, and why not? What an amazing post-storm sky we've got here. I'll tell you what else is also amazing, this channel. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're enjoying our content, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. When you hit the thumbs up as well, it's free, it's quick, and it lets YouTube know that this video is pretty good, and it helps us grow the channel. If you do that, I really do appreciate it. Thank you. The third thing I've noticed is that I think the backpackers have dried up here a little bit since the overland border's been shut. When I first came to Siem Reap in 2013, I came as part of a tour, and we did an overland crossing at the Poipet border, and that border crossing is very popular with people doing like the South Indo-China Loop. If you're going from Bangkok through to Saigon, it's really cheap and easy to take a bus from Bangkok, through to Siem Reap, and then public buses all the way through to Vietnam. With that border shut, I don't think many people are coming across, because it's meaning that people that wanted to do it on the cheap are now having to fly from Bangkok to Siem Reap. And if you are a budget traveller, $12 compared to $300, I mean, that's a fair big chunk of money. So I'm hoping that for the sake of the businesses in this town, which, look, let's face it, Siem Reap relies on tourism, that they open that border and let tourists travel back and forth freely between Cambodia and Thailand. The fourth thing I've noticed, and this is relevant to that border being shut, is that there's some Thai products that are becoming less available, I'll say. I won't say super hard to get, but we'll just say less available. If you're local here in Cambodia and have experienced this, let me know in the comments what you've found hard to get. For us, we've found that there's a certain milk box, what do you call it, like a juice box, but a milk box that Max drinks that is becoming harder to find here in Siem Reap. So whenever we do find a supplier, we tend to stock up. There's also some other Thai products such as chips and some juices and things like that which we've found dried up. So just like tourists, for the local sake, I really hope they open those borders up so we can enjoy the fruits of our neighbour. The fifth thing I find interesting is there seems to be a high level of nationalism at the moment, and that's not just with Cambodia, but that's with Thailand as well. And I'm noticing this mostly online. There seems to be so many people sharing nationalistic posters and sayings and AI generated images of their country and what it means to them, and that they love their country and they'll fight for their country and their country just wants peace, all this sort of stuff, which as an Aussie who doesn't live anywhere near a conflict zone or hasn't really been involved in a war since World War II, when more bombs were dropped on Darwin in Australia's north than all of Pearl Harbor, for my American friends, all this is genuinely fascinating to see and experience. Can you see that bloody rainbow? It looks bloody marvellous. In fact, doesn't the sky look even better than before, 5 minutes ago? The sixth thing I found interesting, and this probably ties into why there were so many nationalistic things being posted online, was the sheer amount of fake news that was happening online from both sides, trying to amp each other up and accuse each other of doing things. Just after the conflict started, the amount of old war footage that was dug up and posted online to Facebook and Instagram and Telegram and all the other apps that everyone uses here, and tagged as "this is happening right now at the border," was huge. It was heaps. And if you're the type of person that just believes whatever's in your Facebook feed, I mean, you had no chance of trying to decipher what was fake, what was real, and what to believe. There's that saying that the first victim in any conflict is the truth, and you couldn't be more correct in a circumstance like this. And even now, a couple of weeks on, we still don't know who did what first and what not, but I don't think it matters anymore because we've got a ceasefire, and that's the main thing. Fun fact, the Cambodian government has actually blocked all Thai news sites for access by Cambodians. So unless you've got a VPN, you can't read the Bangkok Post. So what happens now? Well, for the sake of our trip and for everyone here and everyone that's been displaced on both sides of the border, I hope things calm down and stay calm for a long time and life can get back to normal for everyone that's been impacted. And for you guys, I think you should go watch this video I made about the floating village because it was really good. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments. See you again soon.